Hello Tubesters, it's Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. Today we're back on the smaller scale figures, so in case the camera falls on them. That has been known to happen. I've just got the three Artizan 28mm Old West figures, the bank robbers that I showed in the unboxing stroke showcase I did last week. I make so many, it could have been yesterday. Really enjoyable figures again. I'd just like to say I'll show you when we got the pair of the guy helping his mate out the bank that's been shot. I said, there's a fair bit of infill in between. Well, it's his foot. I like to put the record straight. I apologise to Artizan. It wasn't a bit of infill, it was his foot. Easy mistake to make, really, isn't it? Not. Painted in acrylics. As I say, really enjoyed it. I just fleshed out the bases with a bit of epoxy putty, I think Magic Sculpt, just to make it like a rocky surface, and I've put some Vallejo textured mud dried riverbeddy type stuff, you know, the crackle, I don't call it crackle paint, but I've put that round the bases in places. So yeah, let's go down to the bench and take a quick look. Thanks for joining me at the bench, Tubesters. Here's our fellas, all three of them. It's probably taken me, since I did the unboxing really, to get them finished. They haven't been varnished, and the only thing I was going to do, and I was going to put a bit of dusting up on the boots and the base of the trousers. Still might do that, might not, I'm not 100% yet. But this is our guy. You could call him the leader, I suppose. I've given him some like checks, not overly, just like artistically, if that makes sense. It just gives it a look like, you know, they're not just normal brown trousers, blue trousers, you know, that type of thing. If you look in a lot of sepia photographs of the Old West, which I do, there's a heck of a lot of different check patterns and stripes and that, so I like to replicate that where possible. I can't remember if I said on the last one, I did look into putting blue jeans on them. I believe it was Strauss made them in about 1871 for miners rather than guys on horseback to begin with. But I don't think they became popular really until the late 1870s into the late 1880s. Is when the cowboys and that really started wearing blue jeans all the time. These are I always pitch these around because I like the Lincoln County War period, they are around the 1875 to 1885 period, but whenever I've been looking at them sepia photographs, I haven't actually seen any jeans around that time period. You do see a lot of them obviously later on, but not in the earlier part. There you go. It just shows the lengths, when you enjoy your figures and your history and stuff, the lengths you'll go to see what's right and what's wrong. Right, there you go. That's his anyway. Again, try, if you can do, and this isn't a lecture, I'm just saying if you can do, try and get some of the colours to like match a bit harmoniously. It's easier on the eye when you're looking at figures. And that's our crackle paint there. I have gone over it, a bit of dry brushing. I find the one I've got is very bright, as you can see, and even that could do with toned down a bit more, but we'll say he's in the White Sands area in New Mexico. Again, that's our I've tried to put lots of different colours in there just to show the you know, the reddy orangey browns. I thought that was quite a good figure pose. As I said, that was where that black bit there's his foot, not a piece of chunky metal. This guy's I've done fairly simply, having just said the greens and the browns and the blacks. It's all on show there, but again, you know, we've gone for opposite colours here, like this but it's not even what you call it now. It's not trying to look on the thing what it is now, but anyway, it's like a purpley blue colour. and again with the yellow, they look well, always work well together, so I've just decided to go with those. It ties them in slightly. Gave him a brass chamber to his revolver. Looks like I've caught the end of that actually. I've caught it with, no, I think I've actually rubbed the paint off. Great. So I'm going to put dab of primer and redo that in piece. Don't know how that's happened. But yeah, I've done that and gave it, again, I go and look at old revolvers, Colt revolvers and other from other manufacturers as well. These seem quite popular, these well, for want of a better word, gunmetal-y type pistols as well. And again, blue and yellow always go well together, so again it just ties it in. Another, simple pose, but they've always, these artisan poses are always quite effective. So that's a through we've got. That I've given him a bit more dirt on his base. More like a shaly type look. Again, not to have them all exactly the same. So that's our three. I've got no more in the drawer at the moment, as in any more Western figures for a while. I've got back to painting the Vietnam figures. I've got 3 on the go at the moment. This guy's got a bit more to go on him yet, but might bleach his helmet down a bit more yet. He's got a waterproof on. Definitely got to put dirt all around him as I've done his others, and obviously do all the base as well, but he's getting there. And quickly, obviously these guys are just works in progress, but I've got extra spare paint. So thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look. I'll get when I get the chance to get the compressor out, I shall give these a varnish, and these will be job done, and they'll go into the collection. As I say, very simple figures to paint. You don't have to do checks, and even the checks I've done are fairly stylised. You know what I mean? They're not overly complex or anything like that. And I didn't want them to. I wanted them to be subdued. So that particular figure, you can see it even from this through the camera. You can just about see it's there, but it's not screaming out at you. Like some fantasy type stuff that's really bright. All these I've wanted to do, not so much toned down colours, but just softer in appearance on the whole, as that you'd like to think they would be in the Old West. So yeah, I'll definitely be getting some more. It's just a matter of when, and obviously as soon as I do get some more, I'll do an unboxings. They don't always have to be from Artizan. I veer away, although I've got a printer, I veer away from the 3D printed stuff, even if you buy it, because if I ever do want to sell it, not that I've really got much intention of selling my Old West stuff, but even if I do, they've mostly got embargoes on you selling this, unless you've got a license which you have to pay a fair bit for. I'd never get the money back, that I'd pay out and sell the figures for. So that's why you don't see a lot of the printed stuff. It's just not worth me doing. Like the Vietnam figures I've just showed you, if I did want to sell those, I was going to potentially to sell those, but I've got a feeling I'll hang on to them now. But if they were 3D prints, I wouldn't be able to sell them, because even though I'm only painting, whether I bought them off a seller, I'm not sure if what happens then. But no, I'll just stick with the guys that obviously make metal ones. I know you get the plastic ones as well. I'm much preferring the metal ones, I think, of this style. I might get some of the War Games Foundry ones. I don't know if they tie in with these in size and bulk and whatever, but I think single figures and that is going to make that much difference. So thank you very much. Before I start rambling on yet more, I've got that flat figure of the painted hussar to come later on in the week. I've got another video I'm going to shoot now where I've got the camera up just on the next boss that I'm going to paint. and then there'll be some Napoleonic figures and an update on the Airfix 54mm figure this week as well. So, oh, and the Dragonfly. If anybody I don't know anybody has watched it, but the Dragonfly video, that's the A-37 in Vietnam, the jet aircraft. I'd shot a whole piece of footage. It was rubbish. It was all over the shop, missing under the camera, so I scrapped a lot. And I've actually been modelling today with it, so there's loads that's been happening off the camera. And I'm just going to stick it up and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and that'll be coming over the next day or two. But if you're here for these little guys, you're probably not here for models. So look after yourselves, and we'll catch each other soon on another video.